Dad, what are you doing?
Hey folks, so this video is a two-parter, and it's more about trusting your gut and trusting the signs than letting your brain kind of run away with stuff. So this is going to be one of those videos where sometimes we let our brain convince us into thinking something is wrong that's actually not wrong, and so this is an example of that happening. We have another Toyota Echo. So me and this Echo met in a parking lot, believe it or not. My wife and I were eating at a restaurant, and we were driving our Echo, and a lady just kind of walked up to me and was like, "Do you know a good mechanic for Toyota Echoes?" And just told her I did my own stuff. And anyway, we got to talking, and now I work on her car. So that's how this Toyota Echo has arrived at our house. So I've done work on this car for about 2 years, and just to be honest, the car's seen some rough days, and so there's things here and there that need to be fixed. But on this particular instance, she's having an issue of a no start situation when she goes somewhere. She wants me to put a clutch switch in this. Like I said, I'm not positive this is actually what's wrong, but when somebody is pretty convinced that that is what's wrong, you just kind of have to go with it. And if that's not what's wrong, then we'll dig into it more. But she wants me to put a clutch switch in this, and with these cars, it is really tight quarters. And on Echoes, and like I said, just these Echoes, when I got to get up under the dashboard, I just pull the front seat out. It's 4 bolts and one little plug, and then that gives me all of this room in here to be able to maneuver my big self around. So we're going to do that right now, is pull this seat out of here and then get up under this dashboard. I'm hoping I can actually video up under the dash. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. In here, let's see. Up under the seat here there's this plug right here, and it's simply just a little push tab right there. Hopefully you can see that. Just like that. Now the seat's ready to come out. Okay, now as you can see, that gives me tons and tons of room. This clutch switch is way at the top of this clutch pedal. Here's your clutch pedal, and the switch is way up in here. Clutch switch is right here. It's got a little nut on it. And we need to press the clutch. It just pushes on that. And you know what? I believe I found her issue. So right here where the spring attaches, and I'm not positive that's where the spring attaches, but there's supposed to be a little rubber piece. And if you can see in behind this, my camera's not focusing, but that button right there is to be pushed on by something that's in this hole. And what is happening is the actual button is falling through this hole. So I've had this happen before, and the button, that little button right there is the perfect size to fit in this hole. So there's supposed to be a little rubber grommet that goes in there, and I'm not positive that's where the clutch spring is supposed to hook to. I'm gonna have to look at my car and double check that. I could have swore the clutch spring hooked on this side. Yeah, see, there's a hole there. So the clutch spring is not even hooked on the right side, as far as I can tell. I'm gonna get out of here for a second, and then might not even need to replace the spring or replace the switch, because I think this is the issue. I'm gonna go look at mine real quick. All right, folks, so I did some digging and I looked on my car, and I think I see what happened. They have these little plugs, like I was telling you, and they go in that hole, and this little pad right here is what pushes on that switch. And these things fall out. They just get, you know, age-related failure. And when they fall out, that little button will go through that hole, just like I was showing you up underneath. What someone has done is, for a lack of a better term, kind of jerry-rigged this whole thing. This is the return spring. Thankfully, I parted out a bunch of Echoes, and I kept a whole bunch of parts, and I kept some of this stuff. And so I had the clutch return spring, and my son's little button went out, and we ordered some of these. I don't know if you can see the part number, but I'll put it in the description. And so I'm down to my last one, so I'm gonna have to order some more of these. But I'm gonna fix this car the right way. I'm not gonna just jerry-rig this thing back the way it was, because that's just not how I'm wired. So I'm gonna get in here and start tearing apart the old jerry-rig. I'm really debating on whether even putting this new switch in, because is it really needed? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be there. I'll make that decision once I get in here, but I will try to let you guys ride along as best as possible, but it's really, really hard to see in here. So just hang tight, and I will contort my body back up in here, and let's get this thing fixed. All right, sorry folks, that's the only angle I could get. So you're kind of looking at this backwards. So you're sitting behind the clutch. This spring right here, that ain't right. That's not supposed to be there. So we're gonna unhook that, get that out of the way. And then what we're gonna do is go up in here and try to figure out where this spring goes on here. Honestly, it doesn't. Is the old spring still on there? Don't see it. I'm going to put some pictures of my car, the underside of my car, on this video, so I'll pull those pictures up and see if I can see where the spring attaches. Okay, so the spring attaches. So the spring just simply attaches. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little hole right here, and then it just goes around this rod here. So sorry about the heavy breathing. I am really kind of stuck in a spot here. So that spring just simply hooks right there. Hopefully you can see that. And yep, that's it. See this little button right here? It's got a little tab on the back of it. It just pushes into this hole right here. So, not sure you're gonna be able to see that, but there's a little hole right here in this clutch arm, and you just pop that in, just like that. So this simply just goes up here and touches the switch. Can you see that? Right there. That's all it does. And this was all backwards and jerry-rigged. There should not have been a spring way down here. And I don't know, maybe if this is too hard for her to push in, and maybe that's why whoever put that spring there. So that's how it works. I'm not sure if I even need to change this switch, because I'm pretty sure that that switch, see this little button right here, and if you see this little guy here, not sure if you can see that. Let's see. This little dude right here, if that's not in there, if that little rubber bumper's not in there, there's a hole here. And that switch post will actually go right in that hole and keep the car from starting. Call that a bad design, call that what you want, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Not my favorite design, to be honest with you. But it lets you know if that button, if this little this little plastic insert right here, if that fails, it will let you know that, because you're not going to be able to push that little button in and be able to start the car. So I'm going to give this lady a call, because I think she's like in her 70s, and so she still drives a stick shift, which is pretty cool. But I've noticed when I put this new spring on here, or this replacement spring, it adds a lot of tension to this clutch pedal, and I'm not sure if that's the reason they put the weaker spring on here. Theoretically, like, if I unhook this spring, it still has a lot of resistance, you know, like, it's not like the clutch is going to stay in. Like, you can see no spring, and the clutch is pushing back because you're pushing on a master cylinder. So you got fluid pressure on the back side of that. So I'm going to give this lady a call, and let's just see what goes from there. All right, folks, so I talked to the lady that owns the car, and we're going to go ahead and replace this switch. Looking at the end of the switch, it does kind of look like it has some boogering on it just from probably falling through this hole. So I'm going to try to get this switch unplugged. Just like that. It's got a little push button on it, and then there's a nut on the end of here. I'm not sure here. Let's see what size this is. You want to remember too, you know, how many threads are poking out of this thing. So we're gonna try to get this wrench on here. If not, I might have to go get a socket and do it that way. All right, folks, so I went and got a ratchet and a socket. That worked much better. Pull this nut off of here, and hopefully I don't have to take this bracket off. Hoping the switch, and it won't. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Wasn't sure if the switch would rotate up out of there. The end of the switch, get the camera to focus here. The end of the switch is kind of boogered up. So, do I think the switch is okay? It probably is. But we're going to replace it anyway. Has a little tang on one side of it, and there's a hole up in the corner here, and that's where that kind of sits. Okay. Get the nut back on here. And looking at this, just kind of the way it is, it doesn't look adjustable. The the back of it looks like there's a nut, but it's molded into the plastic, so it doesn't look adjustable. Tighten this guy up. Little tight quarters, man. Would have been better if I would have grabbed an extension. Alright folks, yeah, an extension helps out. And it'll stay where it's at because it's got a little tang, that little pilot tang sticking out there. Now, plug it back in. Yeah, there we go. Like butter. All right, folks. New switch, button fixed, return spring done right. Okay, so the only thing left is to put the seat back in. Don't forget to hook your seatbelt switch back together. Seatbelt warning switch, whatever it's called. And then run these down to factory specs. All right, folks. Let's see if this works. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't fix it. Alright folks, so there's part one. That's how to put a clutch switch in a Toyota Echo. That's how I do it, by removing the seat. Stay tuned for part two where I replaced the starter. It was dragging pretty bad on this car, so it needed replaced anyway. Watch part two to the end where I actually figure out what is wrong with this car. I don't actually show it on camera because I was so frustrated that I just stopped recording, but I will go into what was wrong with this car at the end of part two. So thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Keep fighting. Don't give up, even when curveballs get thrown at you. And I'll see you in the next video.